Guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope everybody's doing good today. So it's been a very long time since I posted anything on YouTube. I've been trying to get through the spring semester, but thank God I got through it. I graduated, but that's a topic for a whole other video. So I figured now that it's summer, I should really try to get this YouTube thing going again. And even though I've posted videos in the past, I'm pretty much just going to take those down and let this be like a fresh start. So I really just want to start like brand new with this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe, and feel free to follow me on Instagram if you're not already at 3_Tommy_1997. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Tommy1997 with 2 underscores at the end. So let's just go ahead and get right into this story that I'm about to tell you. So I come across my high school yearbooks, right? And I decide to take a look through them and, just see how much people have changed from then to now. And I come across this picture of this girl that I used to be friends with. And honestly, the moment I saw her picture, I was instantly reminded of the situation that we had freshman year. And, I don't think I've ever told anybody this story. And if I'm being completely honest, I actually forgot that it even happened because it was so stupid and petty and childish, and I was basically thrown into a situation that had nothing to do with me. So, with that being said, I'm sure you read the title. I'm going to tell you guys the story of the one time that I was almost suspended in high school. This is so stupid, but you know what? It's like looking back, it's like I really cannot believe that this happened, but let's just go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so my ex-friend, person I saw in the yearbook. So she was a bit of a mean girl, to be honest, so let's call her Regina. So before I get more into the story, I'm going to tell you guys a little background about how I became friends with Regina. So when I was in the 2nd grade, her brother and I were on the same softball team, and their dad was the coach. I remember my very first encounter with Regina. She was just rude and extra, and she came off like a mean girl basically, and she was just so nasty and so rude, and I could tell that I was not gonna like her. And I'm just like, you know what, you can stay away from me. Like, me and your brother, we're good, but you, nah, we're not gonna be friends. I can tell. But who would have thought that we would become friends? Because eventually, now I'm in the 3rd grade, and her brother end up coming to my elementary school, and me and Regina, we were in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade together. Basically throughout that time when we were in elementary school, I was really her only friend. Well, she had other friends, but she kept falling out with them, and I guess I was the only one that was still cool with her and stuff. So yeah, and after 5th grade, I didn't see her again until freshman year, 2nd semester freshman year. So, it's like any other Friday. I'm just walking to class, and I walk in and I see Regina, and I walk up to her, and she gets the biggest smile on her face. She gets up and we hug each other and stuff. And this is when things start to get a little weird. So the teacher, we're gonna call her Miss Richards, she basically just tells me to sit down, and kind of came off a little aggressive, and I'm just like, what did I do? All I did was give this girl a hug. So then Miss Richards tells Regina to come to her, right? And from what I heard, Miss Richards basically told Regina, so you think it's cool that you just called me the B word in front of everybody? And I'm like, oh, so that's why you mad. Okay, I get it. So basically they go back and forth. Then Regina ends up coming back in class. So I have this other friend, and her name's not really Samantha, but we're gonna call her Samantha. So, the entire class, she's not really talking to me for whatever reason, and she kept calling me dirty and just looking at me funny, and I'm like, first Miss Richards comes at me like this, and now you coming at me? What did I do? Last time I checked, I didn't realize it was a crime for me to hug somebody that I haven't seen in years. So that entire class was just weird to me. That entire day was just weird to me, honestly, because I'm just like, what y'all mad for? So then I get home from school and, I'm talking to my mom and I'm like, yeah, do you remember Regina from elementary school? I was on the softball team with her brother and stuff. And she remembered her. And I basically just told my mom everything that happened in class that day. And I'm just like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad to see an old friend, but I could tell that she had like this new energy inside of her. And like, obviously she's come back in my life with something completely different from what I knew in elementary school. So later on that night, I get a phone call from Samantha, and she's basically apologizing to me for like how she acted in class, like, sorry for calling you dirty and stuff. I'm sorry that, I was looking at you crazy or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, like, what was that about? Because I'm like, I never did anything to you, So I was just confused. So basically, Samantha tells me that the reason why she was acting the way she was acting is because her and Regina have real beef. So if I remember this correctly, they were actually friends because they went to the same middle school. I obviously did not. So I guess one day they went to the mall. Regina tried to shoplift and she got caught, tried to take Samantha down with her. So yeah, if somebody tried to take me down for a crime that I didn't commit, I don't think I'd be friends with that person either. So, I get it. So I guess it ended up just getting so bad between the two of them that they fought. And yeah, so, Samantha basically told me that. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, you were friends with this person, then y'all have a fallout because she tried to get you arrested with her or whatever. And then you thought you were done with her in middle school, but then you come to high school, your favorite class at that, with your favorite teacher, and you have to see this girl again. So, I understood why Samantha was so upset. And, I would be too. So now let's get into how I'm involved. Okay, so first of all, while Samantha and I are having this phone conversation, I do go ahead and tell Samantha some of the things, well, not some, but everything that Regina had said about her or whatever. And Samantha was unbothered. She was like, I expected that from her. Like, I don't care. If she can't say it to my face, then, it is what it is. But like, I basically just felt like, well, one, I really did not want to get involved because I feel like, these are two females. I have no business getting in the middle of women's drama. But part of me just felt like I wouldn't really be a real friend if I didn't tell Samantha what was said. And I mean, it's not like I was being messy because Regina did say it directly to me, and it's not like I lied about anything. So, I should be straight. But anyway, let's just fast forward to a few days later. So I get to class, we're just doing our regular thing. Mind you, Samantha's not in class. So, I thought, maybe she just wasn't feeling good because, if she wasn't going to be in class, she would usually text me or whatever. But that didn't happen. So, okay. So we're in class. Out of nowhere, I get called to the front office. Now, at this point, I'm a little nervous because I've never been called to the office really. Unless like one of my parents was bringing me something and they drop it off at the office and they would call me there to pick it up or whatever. That's like really the only time I would be called to the office. So the fact that you actually called me out of class to go, I was a little nervous. So, cause you never know what it's about. And like I said, usually I only go if like my parents drop something off, but I knew that they weren't doing that day. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm about to get myself into. So, Miss Richards, she's writing me a pass to, head to the office. I get called into this lady's office. We're going to call this lady Miss Johnson. And she was the ISS teacher. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I'm shook at this point. So I walk into her office and I see another one of my friends, and we're going to call him Chris. So Miss Johnson is basically just talking to Chris and I and saying that, there's been a lot of drama going on lately, and the reason why I've called the two of you here is because you guys have been labeled as instigators. And I'm like, an instigator for what? So basically, she brings up the whole situation between Samantha and Regina and how my name and Chris's name have come up several times. And I'm like, I'm just confused at this point. So she ends up, asking Chris a series of questions. Then she asked me some questions. Basically she had basically told us that, if it comes out that we're lying or whatever, that we would get suspended. Well, mainly me, because I kind of had like a deeper connection to the two of them in some type of way. So like, basically I was being told that I could possibly be suspended over this. But in my mind, I'm like, this is not my beef. I don't have anything to do with this. This is simply not my problem. So why am I being placed in the middle of it? So, she's asking me questions. The one question that really got me was when she was like, have you and Samantha ever said that you guys would get a bunch of your friends together and you guys would all jump Regina? And I'm like, where are you getting this from?
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Then another question that she had asked me was, have I talked to anybody else about the situation? Basically meaning like, have I talked to any other students about it? Which I haven't. I told her the only people I really talked to about the situation are Samantha, and I did talk to my mom about it. Her whole thing was, Ms. Johnson's whole thing was, if I find out you're lying, I will suspend you and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not about to get suspended over a situation that has absolutely nothing to do with me. This is not my beef. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was very intimidated when I was talking to Ms. Johnson because, understanding what the situation was and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't do this. I don't bother people. Like, I cannot believe that I've really been thrown into the middle of a situation that really has nothing to do with me. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I almost started crying in that office because I was so nervous. Like, it was a feeling that I never had before. So once we finish this conversation, Chris and I have to write statements, and then after I write my statement, hand it to her, go back up to class. When class is over, I stay behind and I talk to Ms. Richards about what just happened. And she basically told me that she felt like the only reason like I'm now placed in the middle is because I'm cool with both sides, which I could understand. And we just talked about it. I just told her how I felt, and she understood exactly where I was coming from. And I basically made it clear, like, okay, yeah, after this, I don't think I can be friends with Regina anymore, because at this point, it was just too much. So now let's fast forward to school day's over. I go home. I tell my mom what just happened. And I'm like, yeah, Miss Johnson, she's telling me that I could possibly be suspended due to me being in the middle of whatever this drama is, but I have nothing to do with it. Like, so basically, after I tell my mom everything that just happened, my mom ends up calling the school, and she speaks to Miss Johnson, and basically she ends up just getting the whole situation reversed, and I was never questioned about anything again after this. Now, while my mom is on the phone getting Miss Johnson together, basically, Samantha ends up calling me, and I tell her like what happened and stuff. Now, at this point, Samantha did go ahead and tell me why she wasn't in class. The reason Samantha was not in class was because she had gotten called to the office for something, I guess for this whole Regina situation, and they ended up running into each other at the office, and they almost fought. So they basically sent Regina home for the day. I mean, not Regina. Well, they probably did send her home too, but they mainly sent Samantha home for the day and stuff. So that's why she wasn't in class. And Samantha, she ends up asking me, did Miss Johnson ask you about the two of us getting our friends together and jumping Regina? And I'm like, yeah, she did. And we never had that conversation. So I was really just confused because I'm like, where did she get that information from? Well, obviously she got it from Regina. So Regina had basically been lying, trying to take not only Samantha down, but you want to take me down. But what I didn't understand was, why would you want to take down your only friend? The one person who's always had your back, who's always defended you. And you've even cried to me and said that, I was your only friend. But you tried to do this to me and get me suspended due to the fact that I'm friends with somebody that you have beef with, when you know that I have nothing to do with your beef. So really after that, I cut all ties with Regina. I did not really care for her. It was it was just ridiculous. So honestly, at that point, I was just over it. Basically, just washed my hands with the entire situation, and I was like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, me and this girl, we don't need to be friends again, and that's just what it was. And part of me really was just thinking, like, I really should have listened to what people in elementary school were telling me. Everybody was trying to warn me about this girl, but like, my whole thing is, I can be cool with anybody, you know, especially if you're the kid that nobody likes. I basically just feel like everyone deserves a friend, and the fact that you were willing to jeopardize your only friendship, really, over some nonsense just because of an old beef, like, come on now. So I was basically like, you know what, it is what it is. So there's actually more to this story. Believe it or not, you would think that it would end right there, but nah, there's a little bit more. I was really going back and forth, like, do I want to include this part, or should I just cut it off right here? But I think I'm going to include this last part. So let's just fast forward. Regina eventually returns to class, and we're having a class discussion about something. Regina ends up saying a cuss word, and basically in our class, if you said a cuss word, you would have to write your name on the board. And Miss Richards basically just told Regina, like, you can go ahead and put your name on the board for cussing. And Regina was like, you know, I didn't cuss or anything. And I'm gonna keep it real, I didn't hear her say anything, but I wasn't about to get involved, because I'm like, no, I'm gonna sit here and keep my mouth shut, because I don't want to be an instigator or anything. So my whole thing too was like, okay, I might not have heard you, but if Miss Richards said that you cussed, and the people around you said that you cussed, then obviously you did. Like, just put your name on the board and stop complaining. It is really not that deep. So basically, the two of them, they end up going back and forth. Miss Richards definitely read Regina for filth, and not even gonna lie, I was here for it. I'm not gonna tell y'all everything that was said, but yeah, it was entertaining. So then Miss Richards ends up calling administrators, and so we're about to just go back to what we were already doing. I look to my left, and I see Samantha, and this girl is steaming. Like, I've never seen her angry, right? So, you know, we all trying to calm her down, but you know, I'm in my state of mind, like, you know what? No, I'm gonna just sit here and be quiet, because I really just cannot do this again. So, you know, we get Samantha to calm down or whatever. Like, you know, Samantha wasn't saying anything. She was just staring directly at Regina, and yeah, she was seeing red that day, basically. Samantha was like, you know what, it's all good, because I mean, she's stupid anyway or whatever. So Regina, she turns around in her seat, and she had her bag on her shoulders. I don't know why she had her bag on when she was sitting, but whatever. And basically they go back and forth. She takes her bag off, she drops it. She wants to fight at this point. They didn't fight. So fast forward, administrators come and get her. Regina, she walks by me, and I'm glad she didn't say anything to me, because I was like, nah, like, don't say nothing to me. You really have nothing to say at this point. She looks at Samantha and is all like, you better count your blessings. And Samantha was like, well, you better shut up. And they just start going back and forth. Once again, Regina drops her bag, ready to fight, and they don't fight, thank God. And that was basically it. Really, right after that, I never saw Regina again. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to be around that girl anymore. So that's basically the story of how I almost got suspended in high school. Hope you guys enjoyed the story. Hope you guys got a laugh out of it. Hope you got some good tea out of it. So I really just want to close this video off on, like, just basically talking about what I want to do as far as, like, growing this channel and such. So really, I would love to do more story times. So, you know, maybe if I think of a past situation, I might talk about it, or something happens in the future, I might definitely talk about it. Being that I just graduated from UNCG, I definitely want to do a video where I talk about my experience at UNCG, and also just kind of give some college advice, really. And if you know me personally, then you know that I really like to watch reality TV shows and such. So I'm pretty much gonna, like, try to get on here more to talk about them, like Love and Hip Hop. You know, we're on Atlanta right now, and so far it's pretty good, so I'm gonna try to get into that. Y'all know I love the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So when that comes back, I'm gonna try to get into it. And Basketball Wives is coming back soon, so basically just gonna try to like do videos on my favorite shows as well, and as well as more story times hopefully. And I'm gonna try to get into vlogging and also just like celebrity news and stuff. Y'all know, well, if you know me, then you know that I like to stay up to date with like what's going on with celebrities and stuff. I don't know, maybe I need to be a writer for the Shade Room or something. Probably not, but yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.